Good morning. This is the KTNG Morning Show. And as always, we start with a small prayer, so this way we get our day straight. So you may join me if you wish. If not, I don't judge. But more so, let's go so. Never with your hands crossed together makes you a slave, and definitely not like this if you are still swimming in Pinocchio's snot. More so in humiliation. Thank Jah for my early rising in the morning and great health. Also thank Jah for the opportunities he places before me, so therefore I may succeed at them at his bequest and his bequest only. Help those who cannot help themselves and show that self-reliance works in many ways. Practically. But more so to show our enemies a little bit of compassion, even though they deserve a patada and a culo. Guess what? Jesus Christ into the 227th heir to the throne of Jah himself, King Haile Selassie, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari. It is Bob Marley's day, people. And the dragon of the mountain has roared, so therefore, residents, dissidents, rioters, everybody that still can't put on their pants right in the morning and going to be stumbling over Legos because the kids let them out on the floor. Welcome to the KTNG Morning Show. Like that jaw action, huh? Okay. Oh, yeah. Yes. Welcome to the KTNG Morning Show. And I am your host for the most, from the left to the right coast, from the north to the south, the irrepressible mouth on beat, people, as we do this. The G to the R to the E to the T to the Z, zesty on top of the mountain all the way down to the freeway all day. Your freak on the peak who's about to speak. And when you open up your ears and your mind, you will learn something that will help you out for the rest of the week. If not today, when you have pointless silence and no conversation. For real. For real, okay? Come on, people. Wake up. We all seen it. We all know it. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Thank you for your support. If you are watching on YouTube right about now, I'm located at MushLuv'd by Jah, the KTNG Morning Show. This is done every single day from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. That is the regular time of our broadcast at KTNG.K60am.org, KTNG.org, 501c status nonprofit. Now, not only that, but also, this is some cool shit. Okay, also, you know, we do fund drives as well, but hit that like and subscribe button, show your support, leave a comment. I promise I'll get to them at the end of this week because I've been in a mood and whatnot. Here we are, Unified Community Broadcasting, Talking Soul Radio for all the Colorado Springs and the world. Now, let's get into what we all saw last night, or some of you have saw. Some of you may have been like too busy playing Xbox, PlayStation, playing cards, or playing with your asses. Who knows? Anyway, it has been the same garbage. Cheeseburger has been unloading since day one. He had no clear talking points about bipartisanship. He had no clear talking points about the EPA rollbacks. He had no talking points about gun violence and gun control laws in this country. Now, that's just the weak side of it. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty took a great fall off that wall because he didn't care how big his diaper, because he got a bullet in the back of his skull by a KTNG sniper. What? That's right. Fuck a wall, man. Anybody that's stuck on this garbage has got to be like, probably, I mean, the most asinine person in the conversation anywhere. For real. All right. You don't believe me? Why don't we just look at both sides of this issue on the right side and the left side of the wall? All right. Let's just see how far this goes. From the Daily Beast. And remember, people, these are stories and news articles that I read from various news sources. So there's no fake news. Okay? There's no fake news here. This is the stuff that they print. And for some stupid reason, it's starting to go from fake news to like, yes, we can check your credibility, we can check your integrity, we can check your facts, and we can cross-check those facts with better facts. So, now if you want to listen to a rich man dictate your lives, let me tell you something, middle class, y'all just got jacked. All you Trump voters, y'all just got jacked on your taxes. That's right, Jack. You got Jack. Crack killed Applejack. Okay, 2 hits and he wouldn't come back. Y'all just got screwed. Ultimately. But it goes even further. There's no Vaseline involved with this whatsoever. Check this out. From the Daily Beast. Dun, dun, dun. Here it is. Agriculture, Blast Cheeseburger, quote unquote, saying that that was the lamest, sappiest State of the Union address ever. Lamest, sappiest. Wow. Let's go into this because I'm gonna prove a point here to you people that if we are smart enough to question the narrative that comes from out of this jackass's mouth, then 9 times out of 10 we should have a good, clear definition as to how to get rid of his ass, hopefully before 2020. Or better yet, making sure that he never wins, period. Because he gets a second term, people, you know what happens, right? You know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen, right? We'll be in such a recession that no one will we will never, ever, okay, look at the United States the same way we live in it. But you don't hear me though. And Colter, what'd she say? Cheeseburger lapped up the applause during his State of the Union speech Tuesday night, but the reception outside has been much frostier. And Colter, who was once the president's biggest cheerleader in the conservative media, tore the speech to shreds after Cheeseburger's unconvincing attempts to play nice, okay, and act like a unifying president, quote unquote. This was the lamest, sappiest, most intentionally tear-jerking, State of the Union address ever. Please fire your speechwriters at real Donald Trump. And he also wrote, Coulter on Twitter, she went on to call the address lame, Oprah, sappy stuff, and said she was too tired to watch the whole speech. Coulter appeared to be irritated that Cheeseburger didn't dedicate enough time to the border wall, saying, 45 minutes in, we got 30 seconds on the wall, he better be breaking ground tomorrow. Coulter turned on Cheeseburger after he caved in on the demands for the border wall funding and ended his shutdown, calling him the biggest wimp. The guy's trying to play nice. He's trying to, maneuver the sympathies of, the House, the representatives, and everybody sitting there while sitting up there stabbing people and calling them all kinds of weird names. I mean, come on. We've already seen the clown mask the first damn time. And now you mean to tell me we're going to be, supplicating to it again, right? Hoping that this moron will get something right as he learns his job, right? Really? Politico. Highlights of the state of the succotash moment. I guess Nancy Pelosi was really she wound up on so many memes right now. Okay, State of the Union 2019 from out of Politico. WTF, Dems rip Cheeseburger's speech as phony outreach. All right, I'm not even gonna read the fluff. I'm gonna read you the preliminary stuff here because this makes about a much more sense than anything else. I'm serious. Everybody had something to say about this, man. Everybody had something about this. Okay. Now, in what often sounded like a campaign speech, Cheeseburger renewed his hardline immigration stance while retelling stories of violence inflicted on innocent victims by undocumented immigrants. That's been his thing. I wonder if the immigrants that were working for him were sitting in the White House sitting there in the White House on the congressional floor listening to this garbage. I mean, they speak Spanish and everything, but I'm pretty sure they had an interpreter that could basically tell them exactly what they were saying. Of course, they would have to. Not everybody speaks English. Okay? So, especially when you hire them for free and don't give them no health benefits, yeah. Just pick up somebody stupid and whatnot, so stupid to the ways and weems of Babylon, and guess what? You got a slave for life. Really? Okay, anyway. So, that particularly frustrated Democrats who are still angry about the 35-day shutdown and were looking to avoid another funding lapse at the end of the next week, even as Cheeseburger continues to demand money for his border wall. $5.7 billion. You mean to tell me he wants $5.7 billion, but yet still we got $6.1 trillion missing out of the Pentagon? Who's overreaching what? I don't know. That sounds like a bad reach over, really. It does. Anyway. While there were lighter moments, like Democratic women celebrating their historic House win and a happy birthday song for a Holocaust survivor, Democrats sat silently for much of the speech, many of them glaring at the president with twisting their faces as he spoke. Much of the substance of Cheeseburger's address appealed little to party deeply skeptical of Cheeseburger and eager to oust him from office in 2020. His call to concentrate on legislation, not investigation, was poorly received among the new majority, which has been called truly outrageous, in the words of Representative Lloyd Doggett of Texas. I heard no unity tonight, even the issue on which I think there should be a bipartisan basis, taking on high cost of drugs, doing significant investment in infrastructure. We heard no details and no plan. You heard garbage, rhetoric. That's all you heard. We can do this, we can do that. We have the dreams of the world. Let's dream tomorrow because those dreams haven't come. When? We must stop war. We must stop the investigation. Look, this man is sitting up there telling you right off the freaking bat that he's trying not to go to jail. As soon as he leaves office, then put his ass in jail, along with his stupid, crooked, corrupt-ass family. That would be a funny show. That would be a funny-ass reality show. The Trump's in prison. Straight up. You know what I'm talking about, right? For real. You know, the man with the tiny hands. The man with no tax returns or any kind of plans whatsoever. Just yap and slap. I mean, he sat there and he was like, I mean, when the people were clapping and so forth and just, I don't know if it was like a sarcastic clap or a clap of like saying, shut up so we can get out of here. You know, that sort of thing. But whenever he's like getting the sunshine from the audience, don't you know he has a smirk? He has a smirk on his face, like, yeah, I got you, yeah. Nancy Pelosi with the big papers and whatnot, she pulled out like she was ordering from off a dinner's menu. Anyway, okay. Other than Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, Democrats complained bitterly that Cheeseburger's call for a late-term abortion ban was at odds with his opening lines asking for compromise. Really? Just to grab him by the pussy, he sits up and says, you know something, we're going to control women's bodies altogether. What if women sat down and, like, what if Hillary Clinton was to, like, make a law to where you could not ejaculate, you know, prematurely or, you know, before she finishes? How would that stick well with a bunch of you incels out there? Huh? You're going to have somebody control of your body, but yet still they can't have control of theirs. Especially in incidents of incest and rape, right? Wow. Idiots. Roe versus Wade, people. Call for bipartisanship seemed deeply hollow. Empty. Zero. Nada. Big O. Big O. We're not talking about the robot anime series either. God. Oh my God. Okay, so even mentioned. Oftentimes the president's only ally among Senate Democrats said the president should have done without some of the immigration rhetoric. That part should have been left out. He used rhetoric to divide people as he always does, continue and will do so, all right? And as a matter of fact, you know, the State of the Union address was nothing more than just a pulpit of it was just him saying the same crap over and over and over. I mean, like he's been advised by a lawyer. This is all you can say. Now whip up your base, throw out the fear-mongering, and make people look stupid. As a matter of fact, somebody just basically, I'm going to get to that in a second. As a matter of fact, there are two women, okay, that are not even in the administration, okay, who took challenge to Cheeseburger's antics. His fear-mongering. Oh, we got to have a barrier. We got to have a wall. We got to have a see-through barrier. We got to have this, that, and everything else. When most of the problems are happening right there in legal space. There's nothing coming. There's nothing moving nothing moving from the south. Despite the fact that there may be, you know, the Mexican National Guard sitting there at the line of entry. Okay, from the border. You know what's even funnier? El Paso is 150 miles away from the damn wall. Axios, in the State of Union response, Stacey Abrams slams Cheeseburger. That's right. The man with the tiny hands, no tax plans, And it screwed the middle class once and for all, because now corporate America is getting a $61,000 paycheck every year until he leaves. Okay? Now, the man whose trade wars are screwing up our farms. The man who allows prostitutes to pee on him in the R. Kelly video. And you know what I'm about to say here. Your master of disaster, your commander of beef and stress and mess. Cheese! Burger, 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 burger! Straight up. Axios, in the State of Union response, Stacey Abrams slams cheeseburger. There's nothing more funny than throwing spaghetti on the wall and see if it's stick glue. And you throw a soppy-ass cheeseburger against the wall, keep throwing it until it goes through the wall. Eventually, you'll get somewhere. Stacey Abrams stepped back into the national political spotlight Tuesday night, delivering a blistering rebuke of cheeseburger in the Democratic response to his State of the Union. Womp, womp. Abrams took cheeseburger to task over the recent 35-day partial government shutdown and calling it a stunt engineered by Trump, one that defied every tenet of fairness and abandoned not just our people, but our values. Democracy dies in the dark, people. That's what Washington Post has been saying. And right now, you're letting this dark cloud of a jackass ruin it for everybody. Okay? America works best on diversity. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you spell it or anything like that. I don't care what it is. It works better with diversity. When you have no diversity and you have this, closed up, like, say, I don't know, sheltered attitude for privilege, that leads me to take off my shoes, smack you upside the head with it and say, stop being so goddamn dumb. But y'all don't hear me, though. Abrams narrowly lost to Georgia gubernatorial election during the 2018 midterms to become the first black woman ever to deliver the State of the Union response. Senate Majority Chuck Schumer's decision to tap her to delivery the party's response comes as many Democrats are reportedly urging her to challenge incumbent Senator David Perdue and a close ally of cheeseburger in 2020. So she goes after this fool, she's going to win this time. Reason being is because of the same thing that has been plaguing the South since, I don't know, I guess the invention of the KKK. Voter suppression. Okay? Cheeseburger didn't say anything about voter suppression. He didn't say anything about Medicare for all. He didn't say anything about helping the human beings, the low brainers, the low IQers out there that voted for his stupid ass. Okay? He said nothing to benefit them, but he only did stuff to benefit himself. And he tries to broad paint it throughout the entire place like, oh, it's for the good of the country. I don't know. I'm like Ann Coulter here. Whoever wrote that diatribe of garbage should be fired. No, better yet, let them make a book so that way it can, solve some of the leaking problems. Anyway, Abrams, a former minority leader in the Georgia State House of Representatives, highlighted her time working with state Republicans. "Quote unquote, it should be no different in our nation's capital. We may come from different sides of the political aisle, but our joint commitment to the ideals of this nation cannot be negotiable." She chastised Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's recent rebuke of her sweeping House Democratic election reform and anti-corruption bill that he mocks as a Democratic Politician Protection Act. Democratic Politician Protection Act. DPPA. No, DPPA did not DPP on my floor either. Okay, we must reject the cynicism that says allowing every eligible vote to be cast and counted is a power grab. The only thing that Mitch McConnell is actually doing is protecting his freaking hide. He's so tied into the Koch brothers foundation, it's ridiculous. I mean, now the Koch brothers are saying, look, we're going to back away from this. The only other joint operation that can actually fund this whole thing is the NRA. That's the only one. Even they are broke at this point. They lost $35 million behind Cheeseburger's dumbass. But Mitch McConnell and his KKK ordinance of, supporters believe otherwise. So it's such as Lindsey Graham and all the rest of those feckless Southern jackasses. Rednecks with ties. Ain't no better. Abrams said she acknowledged the gubernatorial election results and emphasized that, quote unquote, I did not and we cannot accept efforts to undermine our right to vote. That's why I started a nonpartisan organization called Fair Fight to advocate for voting rights. And those voting rights means that if you have been in jail, you can get your felony expunged. There's a rule, there's a way to do that. Okay? Then once you become eligible to vote, get out there and vote. But here's the thing, people. Organize your communities so you have a community voting day. Okay? Because it is up to Cheeseburger to just go around to interfere with those elections. And I can guarantee you this, they are going to make sure that your polling places are hard to get to, as opposed to being stopped by some white racist jackass who doesn't want you to vote. So, don't believe the hype. Get out there and stop it. That's all you got to do. But it goes even further. It goes even further. The next woman on our panel right about now has basically seen the truth in the rhetoric behind Cheeseburger's garbage. Already at this particular point, AP Press, New Mexico governor pulls National Guard troops from the border. Oh no, oh no. That means the invasion's gonna wind up getting here and it's gonna be red dawn. No, it's gonna be a brown afternoon. Have you guys not seen the movie A Day Without a Mexican? Jeez. Santa Fe, New Mexico. Governor of New Mexico ordered the withdrawal of the majority of the state's National Guard troops from the United States border with Mexico on Tuesday in a move that challenges Cheeseburger's description of a security crisis. All right, let's break down the facts for you. First and foremost, illegally getting into this country has gone down quite significantly. If you're getting into the country illegally, then you're only coming by plane and therefore overstaying your visa. If you're already here and you overstay your visa, guess what? Now you're illegal. And even if you are legal, say in a Tijuana sense, and you come over and you overstay your visa, then you become illegal. So the hordes of rapists and murderers and this, that, and everything else coming as some sort of fuge of like canophonous garbage of fear-mongering is really nothing more than a waste of taxpayers' money. And you, dear taxpayer, who are about to pay your taxes and thinking you're going to get everything in before April 15th, better hold up. Because your taxes are about to be tapped in March. That's right, in March, people. Story continues. Governor MushLuv'd Grisham, okay, announced the partial withdrawal shortly before Cheeseburger's State of the Union address. Good move. Good move. That's what I'm talking about. Freaking good move. Oh, seriously. Her Republican predecessors deployed National Guard troops to the border on April 2018 at Cheeseburger's suggestion, and 118 remained there before Tuesday's reversal. New Mexico will not take part in the president's charade for border fear-mongering by misusing our diligent National Guard troops. Let me repeat this for you guys again in case you just missed it. New Mexico. New Mexico. Okay, not old Mexico, New Mexico, the one that we stole. All right? Will not take part in the president's charade of border fear-mongering by misusing our diligent National Guard troops. MushLuv'd Grisham said in a statement. Bravo, 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 because it's a waste of freaking money. Why don't you take those National Guards and send them down there to Puerto Rico and help those people? Or better yet, help the people down in Louisiana. How about Detroit, Michigan? Huh? Oh, that's right, that's right. We got militias up there. Anyway, at the same time, the governor had said to a small contingent, around a dozen guardsmen will remain in the southern corner of the state to assist in humanitarian needs in a remote corridor of cross-border immigration. She also mobilized her state police to assist in local law enforcement. I recognize and appreciate the legitimate concerns of residents and officials in southwestern New Mexico, particularly Hidalgo County, the Treaty of Hidalgo, Guadalupe. Not Hidalgo County, people, all right? Who have asked for our assistance as migrants and asylum seekers continue to appear at their doorstep. Okay? Reason being is because they can't go through normal channels. They can't go through legal ports of entry without being caged, without being locked up. Okay? Therefore, a GPA or whatever the hell they are can still help most of those congressional people that we're dealing with, both Republican and Democrat, maintain some sort of, like, you know, integrity in being paid on imprisoning people. So in a recession, prison and jail time is the only occupation where there's no recession. Keeps our country great. It keeps our country moving. Yes, it does. Alrighty. Now, at our remote stretches of New Mexico border with Mexico, large numbers of Central American migrants have surrendered in recent months to the U.S. authorities. The perils of the state's desert borderlands have been highlighted, with the deaths of Guatemalan immigrant children Felipe Gomez Alonso and Jacqueline Cal while in U.S. custody in New Mexico. Wow. Two small martyrs to prove a point that in U.S. custody hands, your children will die. Now, if you are not understanding that, my Guatemalan, Honduran, and Central American people, please understand that your children will die at the hands of the United States. Okay? You don't make sure you have relatives up here, because if not, they will kill your kids. They will. I wonder how the hunger strike's going. Anyway, the Pentagon announced Sunday it would send 3,750 more troops to the U.S.-Mexico border to put up a barbed wire fence to provide support for customs and border protection, increasing the total number to 4,350. Long Grisham traveled last month to New Mexico's southern edge for briefings from the National Guard and Customs and Border Protection, explaining that she wanted to see the situation for herself. So on Tuesday, she directed 25 troops to the other states, Arkansas, Kansas, Kentucky, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Wisconsin, to withdraw from the New Mexico border. Let me say the states that are withdrawing from that border: Arkansas, Kansas, Kentucky, New Hampshire, South Carolina, and Wisconsin. Which means what? Maybe people are actually looking down there and actually saying there's not a real problem. Okay, what happened to the last caravan that got stopped in Tijuana? They're still waiting. The next caravan that comes up, and there's going to be more caravans coming up from Venezuela. Even though Mike Pence told them don't even bother coming to the United States. And then on the same end, once they slap you, then they're going to reward you with praise because now we got a U.S. operative running Venezuela. Wow, how soon they forget. For real, man, come on. It's just like, you know, it's just the most asinine thing in the freaking world to have happen. And yet still people think that a strong border is going to protect nothing. It's not going to do nothing. All right? I mean, the only border wall that I see at this particular point is between Cheeseburger and his shaved down Bigfoot of a wife. First lady, she looked like a damn tampon box in what she had on last night. A bad one at that. But there are many people, it's not only congressional people, it's not only state people and local people, it's also people in the clergy who don't want the damn thing in the first place. It doesn't matter. USA Today, a church is no place for a wall. Tiny chapel near Rio Grande at the center of a legal fight. Mission, Texas. When Sandra and Hal Toten stepped inside a tiny chapel, just a few yards from the Rio Grande on Tuesday, they had no idea that they were at ground zero in a battle between Roman Catholic Church and Cheeseburger's administration. Ooh, you don't take on the Pope, man. The Pope is like Super Pope. That's right. He's speaking out against, you know, pedophile priests, nuns being raped. Yeah, the standards of what Cheeseburger, I mean, you know what's so foul is Cheeseburger had to have God on his lips. When he doesn't even go to church. He doesn't even think that God should forgive him for anything. He doesn't think he needs forgiveness from God. Okay, this man who has a God complex and the ego about the size of Paul Bunyan's bunion. All right, come on. Come on, man. Come on, man. Jeez. On Wednesday, in nearby McAllen, Lomita Chapel Hill will be the subject of a federal court proceeding that could lead to the government taking the property surrounding the historic mission to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexican border. Eminent domain. Foxconn in Minnesota don't mix. So what happened to all those people who sold all their land for this great ideal that had no plan whatsoever? Oh, I tell you, y'all poor white people, y'all got screwed out of that one, for real. Y'all got screwed out of that one. And it's going to get worse. Now, quote unquote, I am a Catholic church on this one. Sharon Toten, who was visiting South Texas from Maryland, said as 4 others from the burning tour of the Rio Grande Valley joined Toten and her husband around the chapel's simple altar. Quote unquote, a church is no place for a wall, and a wall is an ecologic disaster. It's a disaster. All right? Bottom line is this. This is like, pretty much like, right within the, the battle itself is right there. But they know that along that border, it's not only that, but there's a golf course, there's schools, there's property that's been that belongs to the Native Americans, and they're saying no as well. So what does that mean? It means that Cheeseburger and the courts are going to have a terrible time fighting all this crap. But Cheeseburger did appoint judges. He did appoint judges the way that he wanted them. Those who would roll back instances of eminent domain to work in their favor, to work in corporations' favor. Those who work in the injusticeness of saying that people don't own their property. People are property and they're not owned by themselves. Okay? Now, if we are not understanding, what we got here, we have a diasporic issue here. A separatist issue, okay? An economic racist issue at that. And all of this is based on what? Fear of the browning of America. Fear of Black Planet. Fear of becoming one with the color of the world, which is not white all the way around. And an ethno-state does not work. All right? Let's give it up. Halfway Point, people. This is KTNG 860am.org. Get yourself a mug, people. Show your support. That's right. Get up here on Much Love by Ja, live right about now, KTNG Morning Show. You can actually get on our website a mug, the devious mug of all mugs, the one that shows that your support of free speech radio. I also have books here, The Art of Eve, Happier Than a Big Bowl of Oranges, and The Iron Tree, all available on Kindle. You can get those right then and there, and that helps in our support of free speech because we are the voice of the voiceless. No ands, ifs, and buts about it. And if you're voiceless, I will find out the reason why, and I will exploit the crap out of you. Zip me, baby. There we go. Love that effect. Anyway, back on track. The story basically just gives me a lot of instances here of how, how gregarious our government has become. What's the use of it? I mean, come on. Let's look at it this way. We're better off worshiping AI. At least it doesn't have the puppet strings that it's attached to. But since Cheeseburger is nothing more than a figurehead that most of us would like to say that he is, we also have to realize that the ones that are pulling his strings are the ones that are not working with him right now. He hired all the smart people, and he fired them all because they were stupid, they were dumb, they were greedy. They were lecherous to this country's institutions for democracy, free speech, and not only that, but an important fact here: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Right now, he's making the pursuit of crappiness, and he's doing a very good job of it. So here it is. Hearing on court Wednesday. Today is the first formal step in what could be a long process involving La Lomita. It's also established that in the mid-19th century by missionary Oblates to provide a spiritual hub for Catholic settlers between Brownville and Laredo. La Lomita mission gave the city a mission its name. The court battle began when Diocese of Brownsville Bishop Daniel Flores said no to the government's request to enter the 26-acre property for the purpose of surveying to determine its suitability for the wall site. Flores based a rejection on Catholic teachings to accept and embrace refugees as asylum seekers. And it's true. It's written in the freaking Bible, for crying out loud. If you do not show your empathy towards the poor, you will be damned to be poor yourself. And it doesn't have to mean financially. It can be spiritually. It can also mean mentally, and 9 times out of 10, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But if you're batting 2,000 like that, then 9 times out of 10, you are indeed a very sick person. And why not? Come on, look at Jeff Bezos. Finds some younger honey and ditches that blonde, feckless bimbo who's trying to ruin civil rights in classrooms. Jeez. Mary McCord, a visiting professor and litigator at Georgetown University Law School in Washington, D.C., will represent the diocese on Wednesday's court proceedings. She acknowledged that the argument would keep federal authorities off the land as a high legal burden to meet, but it's important that the fight be waged from beginning to end. We're making the First Amendment case that it's not a place for the wall. That's why we'll be in court. And good for them. They're going to be in court for that, and that's going to be a helpful thing. Now, probably like my fave of all things and so forth is to basically find out the individual response to this wall crap. And there's one person that can actually fit the bill. We're on the second page. We already finished the first page, people. Now here comes the second page. And what could be better? What could be better than hearing the individuals who say, what is wrong with this jackass? And I guarantee you, by the 15th of this month, remember, throughout that whole speech of his, he did not say one thing, not one thing, about shutting down the government, now did he? But since he has executive time, and he does have executive pull, and if he doesn't get his wall, he'll start acting like the big 73-year-old baby that we all know and love. And then, whatever, we're going to sit there and say, whatever happened to that nice guy that was running the country, the guy who made that State of the Union address, and he did it with such flair and arrogance, and of course, petulance, people. Petulance. Rich white boy petulance. That's all that shit was. Alright? So, I like when, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says, yeah, he's scared. She saw right through him. She actually saw right through his weak-ass attempt of trying to be a nice guy. Well, nothing. He's nothing but a nasty son of a bitch. Alright? Straight up. Nasty with his business, nasty with his... I mean, come on. This is the reason why North Korea sits there and says, you guys came away with nothing. The United States came away with nothing. And they got all... They're building all their nuclear arms and all that crap. Here it is, people. I love this woman. I love this. I mean, come on. Beauty, brains. You can't get that combo these days. All right? You can't get this combo these days. It's either one or the other. Jeez. One or the other. And that's the sad part, too. All right. Anyway. Let's see. Who is this by? Oh, The Hill. Ocasio-Cortez, progressive, accused Cheeseburger of using socialism as a scare tactic. How can you use socialism as a scare tactic when it was the United States who bred the crap in the first place? Here's a short reminder. 2002, we tried to kill Maduro. 2008 to 2016, we've been had Guaido up here teaching him the ways of how to have a smoother coup. 2019, Guaido's in, Maduro's out. And we taught him. Just like we do with all of our manifest destiny privilege garbage in the Monroe Doctrine. We will meddle in the Latin American affairs until we have all their resources. Just like we made the mistake of going into Africa like we're doing now. But here it is, Ocasio-Cortez is Democratic socialist who has soared to political fame following her victory in the Democratic primary last summer. She has joined other liberals in the House of calling for a single-payer healthcare system. She also voiced support for a higher marginal tax rate on the wealthiest households, as well as the Green New Deal that would fund programs to create clean climate jobs. What's wrong with that? Okay? So here it was. The New York lawmaker described Cheeseburger's comments as fabulous and said he, quote-unquote, has no substantive proposals to counter. Ocasio-Cortez goes on to say, I think he's worried about the good ideals like Medicare for all and taxes on the wealthiest and a Green New Deal, and he wants to paint it as socialism. And I think he's worried, and he wants to paint it as socialism, but these are actually policies that every industrialized country in the world almost has instituted and built their societies on. So if that's socialism, what the hell are we doing? Okay? We're practicing communism here. Think about it, people. If Cheeseburger basically supports Putin, and which he is now his proverbial ass book, if he loves the love letters that he got from Kim Jong-un, if he loves the fact that somebody in the Philippines named Doc Dirty Turturti, okay, executes drug dealers and people harmless and who ain't doing nothing, if he loves regime change at a violent end, and he's trying to do so with Iraq and Iran and with Yemen and Syria and everything because he's funding the UAE to do all his mass murdering for him, and they're stupid enough to leave the damn stuff laying around, yeah, then the UAE should get their asses blasted back on by the Houthis. You buy American products, you leave them out there in the desert, and people reverse engineer them shits, and guess what? Now they're using them against you. Dumbass. For every strong man this doofus is basically surprising and surrounding himself with in that particular level of company, he's just walking straight into communism. And y'all not even seen it, but oh no, socialism is bad. Look what happened to Maduro, yeah. More fear-mongering for the idiots who basically placate to it and have no decency of humanity other than their own self-serving ideologies and purposes, which amount to nothing but a squat puddle of wide elephant shit. Straight up. Now, speaking of churches, and we're not talking about churches fried chicken here. I got two more articles here, people, and I think that we are going to take care of. All right. And it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing to see this happen, but it has to be addressed as well because there's no other way around it. There's no other way around it. All right, no other way around it. Actually, 3 issues. I think I got time for 3. I just gotta wait for this thing to pop through. Now, right about now, okay. Netanyahu is doing something stupid. Okay, and the Pope is basically addressing an issue. And another thing is that there's some issues going on with one of my favorite places on the planet. All right, so let's see who pops up first, babies. Let's see who pops up first. Huh? Okay, nobody wants to pop up? All right, then we'll have to let the cat out of the bag, bro. 1.4 million people. 1.4 million people by March will become a humanitarian disaster, a humanitarian crisis. Why? Because of our interlinks to our racist policies here. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about 1.4 million Puerto Ricans after Hurricane Maria came through. Still without power, still without, adequate services. No matter, it doesn't matter if Bill Clinton goes down there and gets a photo op and says, okay, we're gonna pledge a couple million here and that's it. It's all we can afford. But we're talking 1.4 billion men, women, and children displaced at this particular point. And now, get this, they don't get napped. They don't get snapped, they get napped. Okay, I don't know how that works out, but that's basically how it happens. So they get like a nutritional food program. Problem is that their budget is going to run out by March. Okay, now there's a correlation here. Now I want you guys to pay attention to this one. All right, NAP works like SNAP, works like EBT, just like that, right? So if they're going to cut Puerto Rico off in March, and we're in the middle of a shutdown, we're in the middle of a quasi-shutdown mode by the 15th. The government shuts down by the 15th. Don't you know that everything that you bought in February is going to have to last you into March? Think about it, people. Do you absolutely want 250 million people here in America who are already homeless and already starving to death, breaking the food banks? Why does it have to be that empires like this, no matter where they are around the world, have to make their due diligence off the backs of the poor? I don't understand this. What is the premise for this? Don't you know this only creates more animosity to a point to where John Gold has said before that if we all take our stereotypes in our classes, we throw them out the damn window and march on Washington and kick this jackass in the ass several thousand times, maybe then he might just get it that we as a people are tired of these shenanigans. Okay? Hold these people not to a high standard, to a complete standard that they can never reach. Okay? Where's your level of integrity? Where's your, your ability? Where's your track record? Not only that, but first and foremost, before any question comes out of any reporter, where are your damn tax returns? Because as we can see now, Cheeseburger definitely does not want to give up his tax returns at all. Oh, looks like my doggone stories are like kind of sloping on me. I don't know. Slow connection, I guess. It'll come up. It'll come up. So, 1.4 million people in Puerto Rico are going to starve to death, or start starving to death by March. Which means, this is March, April, yeah, right before tax season. See, they get a budget. They get a food budget. They get a food budget, but it doesn't increase or decrease in times of emergency at all. Okay? We get FEMA, we get all the good stuff because we're stateside, right? And, let's see. Oh, that's right. Because Puerto Rico is not adjacent to the land, then it is not a part of the United States. If that were the case, then what is Hawaii? Oh, that's right. It is a colonized island. Yes, it is a colonized island, much like Australia. Okay? See, every time a white man comes in and so forth and moves into crap and whatnot, he causes his own gentrification. And then when cultural gentrification happens, he moves out and everything. And then you got the sellout black man, sellout Negro. You sit there and say, oh, there's no such thing as white privilege. You just have to do the same thing that everybody else is doing, right? Yeah, follow the machine, follow the system. Follow yourself into an early grave. That's the reason why most Americans don't live past 70. Fuck that shit. Jeez, I'm going to try and live forever like Fame, baby. I want to live forever. I want to fly in the sky high. Jeez. Oh, my God. Okay. Oh, it looks like one of my stories came up. CNN, Pope Francis, for the first time, calls sexual abuse of nuns a problem. Okay. Now, consider where the nuns are at. Do they get cucumbers and eggplants delivered to their, monasteries? Or is it because the men, who are the priests and the friars in this particular sense, have realized that they can no longer bring little boys to their crib? They can't do the chicken hawk dance. Oh yeah, that was a big thing back in the 60s and the 70s. Oh yeah, have little kids, going to bars and going to seedy little alleys and whatnot, and wind up being, chickens. Every chicken hawk. You know what I'm saying? So I guess they don't like stopped all this craziness for that. But I guess the Pope thinks that there's sexual abuse on nuns. Well, come on, you're not giving up none, you're not having none, so you don't see none. I guess in that particular sense. So, for the first time, Pope Francis acknowledged the sexual abuse of nuns by a priest. Ooh, these are made men. Now, I wonder what would happen if one of them got pregnant. That would be interesting, a nun getting pregnant. Then again, let's figure out how old these nuns look like when you get there. You got your Mother Superior, she looks like she's 800,000 years old. Her lieutenants are like, 40,000 years old. And anybody young coming in there and so forth, it's like, they've pretty much lost their way from a lot of drugs. Well, I mean, come on. Call it for what it is, man. Come on. You can't be like sitting up here being naive about shit. Come on, man. I've seen nuns sit up there and go and start dancing to like, what? Tripped out house music. They're getting off and whatnot. Dance to the devil's beat. Guess what? That's what they call it. All right, that electronic music, that's devil's music. Let's check it out. Straight up. Okay, I guess my stories are not coming through, which means I'm going to have to go through my back page access. There we go. Pull it up, baby. Pull it up. Pull it up. There we go. Ah, it's so sweet. It is. It really is. It really is. So, see, now look at that. I start one and everybody starts like acting up. Gotta love it. Anyway, there you go, baby. Ah, yeah, the story of Pinocchio. What a sad story. Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, where is oh, it was here. It was here. It was here. I like how they changed all my stuff up too. Well, oh, here we go. There you go. There you go. There you go. And here it is, people. World news. Give you a bit of world news because in many cases you guys don't pay attention to what's in your front yard. Vatican clarifies Pope on issue of sexual slavery of nuns. Vatican on Wednesday clarified comments by Pope Francis about a case of what he called sexual slavery within the French congregation of nuns, saying he is referring to an abuse of power that was reflected in instances of sexual abuse. Francis cited the case when responding to a question about sexual abuse of nuns by the clergy during a press conference Tuesday, returning home from the United Arab Emirates. And it was the Pope's first ever public acknowledgement of the problem of priests and bishops sexually abusing nuns. He stressed that the Vatican had been confronting the issue for some time and vowed to do more. Vatican spokesman Alessandro Gisciatti said Wednesday Francis quote-unquote spoke of sexual slavery to mean manipulation or a type of abuse of power that is reflected in sexual abuse. I mean, come on. You're walking around in dresses, that chafing gets to you, and the next thing you know, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So in November, the organization representing all the world's female Catholic religious orders and the International Union of Superiors General publicly denounced the culture of silence and secrecy that prevented nuns from speaking out and urged sisters to report abuse to their superiors and police. And just last week, the women's magazine of the Vatican newspaper, L'Osservatore Romano, identified the clerical culture of the all-powerful clergy as a pulpit. Magazine Women Church World noted that the scandal involves the corollary nuns being forced to abort the priest's children or bear children that the priest refused to recognize. So here's where I got a problem right about here. If you are a nun, a Catholic nun at that, and you think that you are privileged behind all of this, riding the coattails of white privilege, you are now a sex slave. Ain't that about a bitch? Anyway, oh, here it is. Okay, let me get to this one real quick. Nearly 1.5 million people in Puerto Rico face deep cuts in food assistance or losing it completely if the government doesn't provide funding for the nutritional assistance program, which is expected to run out of money on the island next month. That's sad, okay? Even though Congress provided like, $1.27 billion in the program in response to Hurricane Maria, that money is expected to run out in March. So needless to say, people, Puerto Rico is going to be needing our help. What do we got to do? Stand up like human beings. Because it's obvious, by all means of a stretch of a word here, that there is an affront. There is an affront. Notice, and I don't care how much TV you watch or how many episodes of Empire you watch and think that you're making headway in the world today, okay? And no matter how much world star hip-hop crap that you want to watch and whatnot, or finding something stupid out of turn, remember, these are human beings that we are causing suffering to because we refuse to help. Understand? Hopefully you would. But maybe if there is a case of such. But then again, human beings are fickle. You're a fickle bunch of idiots. You decide on one thing and then you decide to do something else. That's crazy. Okay? Make up your damn minds. Either you're a human being or you're not. Because the jackass that we got right about now gave a speech that was worthy of something like a bad rerun of like the I Love Lucy show spoken in Zanzibar. I don't even know if they have a language. Okay? And then, they make it so bad. It's the same garbage talking points that he set up there and says the whole time. No war, no investigation. Pay no attention to the man behind the green curtain. Right? This idiot shows up, breaks protocol right during the doggone opening ceremonies, and his tie is crooked. You know the story of the crooked man that walked the crooked mile and told a bunch of crooked lies? 8,700 of them, to be exact. And Pinocchio's nose is getting so damn long, woodpeckers are starting to take up residency. Notice the infractive word. Woodpeckers. All right. Now, for all of you sellouts, vendidos, malachistas, coconuts, bananas, whatever you want to call yourselves, baseline sellouts, y'all are not helping. As a matter of fact, your days are numbered because you're protecting the overseer so you can remain the house nigga during Black History Month. How dare you? Nice to see that the Black Caucus actually gets off its ass and actually do something, but then again, it's all about protecting your status quo. So, I don't trust none of you. I don't trust none of you. I don't trust none of you politicians whatsoever at this particular point. There's only one that I actually trust, and that's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Okay? Other than that, all the rest of you, I don't trust none of you. She's clean. She's a saint. I guarantee you, there's not one thing the right wing can bring to her at this time. They can dig up as much garbage as they want, but she's got a fan base that's bigger than his. Bigger than Cheeseburger. And if she were to run for president right now, she would win hands down. Okay? Simple. Simple as that. She would get out there and be a part of the community. And that's something that, as community leaders, you guys need to start picking up. Picking it up. You want the community to support what you do, get out there and be in the damn community. Stop trying to leech off of it and say you're doing something. All right? That's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing to the platform that not only, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, as well as Dr. James Cone, as well as the Black Panther Party set out decades ago. Be somebody in the community that rallies around, and not only that, but also make sure your communities are up to par in helping other communities, because it strengthens our bonds and our chain grows stronger. Do not be that part of the human centipede of ass kissery, which we already have. Putin as the head, you have Cheeseburger being the ass bucket to Putin, and then you have Jim Coon being the ass bucket to him, and then you have, let's see, who else? Mike Pence being an ass bucket to him, and then you have, see where I'm going with this? This human centipede that's in politics right now is almost embarrassing. It's almost embarrassing so much that I'm glad the rest of the world is laughing at us. I really am, because it should show us humility in our humanity. You guys cry about the damn cold. Oh, there's a terrible winter storm. Nobody checked the North Pole and see if it was moving, and it did. Don't believe me? Look up the research, people. We're so focused on the southbound of this damn country, we don't realize what's happening up north, and it's coming in quick. Coming in quick. Polar vortex, you think you don't like it this year? Keep sleeping on climate change. Keep helping Cheeseburger roll back EPA measures and whatnot to give corporations the right to get on our parks and our private lands and do whatever they want. Okay? So you can wind up with no drinking water. So you can wind up having no clean air. All because of profit. Look for that black iron, people. Money. Yeah, you know I'm right. But no, I don't hear me though. Okay? And that's why I laugh at this whole thing. That's why I laugh at this whole thing. For the few headlines I didn't get to, that's no problem. But what I can promise you this is that I will address some of this tomorrow. So, in the spirit of that, let us say good morning to some of our people, our rolling people out there. I know you guys are like watching, listening. What matters most is that the fact that we are all trying to find something to do that does not have anything to deal with, like, the schlockery of obeying a government that doesn't do anything for you. Deborah Coco, good morning. Betrayal One, good morning. Friendly Ada Santiago, good morning. Hakun Upton, good morning. Salam alaikum, my brother. Vic McNewman, good morning. Wu-Tang's in the house. That's right. That's right. Also, Tony Tech Rivera, good morning. Jason Anthony, good morning. Kamala Pruitt, good morning and happy birthday. That's right. Trey Adams, good morning. Mark Briggs, good morning. Tina Hightower, boom, boom. Drop the mic, good morning. Takaji Nakako, good morning. Domo Domo all the way out there in Japan, my people. Lena Shockley, good morning. That's right. Let's see. Oselmo Ferreira Santos, good morning. Bienvenidos. Oh, my man. Oh, man. Hold up. Where's my boy at? Shit. Where's my boy at? Oh, yeah. These are the people that have a birthday on Bob Marley's days. Zambo Estrada, all the way out in South America. Good morning. Sega Ali Shah, good morning. Happy birthday. Mike Gillard, good morning. Happy birthday. Jay Graff, good morning. Happy birthday. Ya Shantawell, good morning. Happy birthday. Kamala Pruitt, Mick Eagles. Danielle Carr, good morning. Happy birthday. And LaShawn Clark Malloy. Pixie Mama, what's going on? Happy birthday on Bob Marley's day. Now, in the sense of Bob Marley, oh, go ahead, Walter Jenkins, good morning, man. Remember, good morning, Walter Rosati. Good morning, Sasha. Good morning, Abby. Abigail. Big ass dog. I'm serious. Good morning, Juan Garcia. Good morning. Let's see. Also, Riel. I'm gonna have to cut that short because of one thing and one thing only. Let's see. Larissa Byrne. Good morning. Good morning. David G. J. Fresh. Good morning. Roxanne Roshate, good morning. Roxanne, y'all know her, babies. Y'all know her. She's the master of the bun. Dulce Melody Orozco, good morning. Good morning to many of you. Unfortunately, I don't have my Facebook thing working at this particular point, but I will try and figure it out this weekend. Now, on the upside of things, I want to say good morning and a happy Bob Marley's Day to each and every one of you. Understanding peace and love is the way to move this world. We do not need to move it and groove it on the instances of arrogance, ignorance, and the surefire way of killing everybody on this damn planet for no apparent reason other than for greed. But if you're on that side of the pole and that side of the fence, guess what? I don't know you. So, the enlightened words of my predecessors. Love, peace, and chicken grease, people. All power to the people. All people to a purpose. Peace. KTNG, KTNG.org, 501.